Let's go. I got a vision I see in my head, a melody buried deep into my soul. They call us crazy, we cutting the edge, unlocking the future and letting it go. This is a calling that's higher. The time we decided our stories are gonna be told. This is where legends are born. We paving the road, a future that favors the bold. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. Not to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Something coming, I can feel it. Deep down in my spirit. Revolution, it's a new day. Time to redefine the limits. So vivid, I can see it. So loud, I can hear it. So they calling me a madman, but the future belongs to the fearless. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. Not to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. Not to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. Not to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. We about to set the tone. We about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. We on a new elevation. We came here to shatter the mold. We gon' shatter the mold. Yeah, we about to set the tone. We about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. Yeah, we on a new elevation. We came here to shatter the mold. Yeah, I know you hear it. I know you see it. We got a fearless. We got a genius. We got defiance. We got a beacons. We got a true believers. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. Not to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Yeah. Woo. Greatness. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says. The Rock says, The Rock. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Rock Jones and
Sean Smith as we bring you our pre-show to the Elimination Chamber, which will be coming at you from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia,
from the Jeddah Silverdome. Sorry, I mean Superdome.
Yeah, I was going to say Jeddah Superdome. And this will be the first ever time the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view has been done outside the United States.
Yes, with WWE's contract to do 2 shows a year for 10 years in Saudi Arabia, they decided to combine the Saudi Arabia show with the road to WrestleMania.
Yes, and as we said earlier, this will be the first Elimination Chamber to be held outside the United States.
So, we have 8 matches on the card at the moment, and considering the fact that, at least at the time of this recording, tomorrow night's SmackDown has been pre-recorded in order for them to get over Saudi Arabia on Saturday, I doubt that anything will change to it. Yes, our first contest is, of course, an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship.
As Bobby Lashley defends his championship against,
for stepping into the chamber for the very first time, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Oh Jesus, Seth freaking Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles.
Now, as we look at the superstars in this match, we immediately eliminate Austin Theory.
Yes, bye-bye Theory, get out.
I take Riddle out of the equation as well because the likelihood is he's going to be working with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. AJ Styles, I would put in as a possibility along with Seth Rollins if there was any other person in the match. Because quite frankly, I do not see the point of having Brock Lesnar in this match if he's not going to win it. Because they could quite have easily found something else for him to do at the Saudi Arabia show. Plus, there's all the talk of the main event of WrestleMania being title for title. After, of course, Reigns cost Lesnar the title at the Royal Rumble, and then Lesnar won the Royal Rumble match.
Oh yeah.
Then our next match is essentially an attraction match, probably for the Saudi Arabia audience, although it should be a good match all the same.
As Becky Lynch will defend her Raw Women's Championship against WWE Hall of Famer Lita.
And this is probably some kind of dream match for Becky Lynch herself.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Lita has proven in the, how long has it been? 15 and a half years since her official retirement. Not that anyone ever stays retired in this business.
Since 2006.
She's proven on the occasions that she's popped back up, but she's more than able to still go in the ring. And I think that this will be a entertaining match, but ultimately Becky Lynch will walk out as Raw Women's Champion. Mainly to what we suspect will happen in another match.
Oh yeah.
Now, yes, the next match was supposed to happen 2 years ago.
Wait, we're missing the tag team championship match out.
Oh yes. Before we get to that, two members of the bloodline of the Usos will defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against a team who earned a title match a couple of weeks ago, the Viking Raiders.
Of Eric and Ivar.
Now, Viking Raiders, credible tag team, deserving champions, yes, but at the moment, with the storyline of the Bloodline, they're not going to lose the titles just yet.
No.
Now, as I was saying, sticking with the Bloodline slightly, our next match is a match that was supposed to happen 2 years ago.
But it didn't happen due to a certain pandemic called COVID-19.
Yes, it is a WrestleMania match that never happened. As 2 years ago, funnily enough, in Saudi Arabia, Goldberg would defeat The Fiend to become Universal Champion.
With a vertical suplex.
The following SmackDown, he was essentially challenged by Roman Reigns. Due to everyone's favorite virus,
Always known as COVID-19.
that match never happened, and Roman Reigns' spot was substituted out for Braun Strowman. Not that that did his career any good.
No.
But now, following Paul Heyman's explanation of why he cost Lesnar the WWE Championship match, Goldberg comes out to acknowledge Roman Reigns as his next victim.
Yes.
Now, I don't mind the fact that they're doing this match, because the main reason I would say they're doing this match is because they never got a chance to do it when they were supposed to.
No, it's called WWE baking up the lost time.
Yes. And this is reportedly, at least at the moment, Goldberg's last match on his contract.
Yes, because after this, Goldberg is a free agent.
And I don't see Goldberg winning this match simply because of the storyline with Reigns and Lesnar. But then again, this is WWE and this is Goldberg and this is Saudi Arabia.
There's some Saudi Arabian money flowing around. Anything could happen.
Our next match, we go back to New Year's Day.
Oh, yes. January 1st, 2022.
Day 1, Drew McIntyre took on Bad Cat Moss and would pick up a victory. Then backstage, whilst being interviewed, he would be attacked by Corbin and Moss.
Only for McIntyre's head with the steel chair and rammed on by another steel chair, effectively breaking Drew McIntyre's jaw.
This was done reportedly because I believe Drew McIntyre in real life was dealing with a few nagging injuries.
Yes.
Then at the Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre makes a return as a surprise entrant into the Rumble match. Eliminates both Moss and Corbin and attacks them with the steel steps on the outside.
Yes.
And then this rematch was made for the Elimination Chamber. However, this one will be a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Courtesy of Drew McIntyre.
And could possibly pay into favour because Corbin can legally get involved. Some people, myself partly included, are like, why are they giving Corbin something meaningless to do? But it does keep him out of the championship picture, for the moment at least, whilst Reigns and Lesnar finish that thing. Now, speaking of the Royal Rumble,
Oh, yes.
Ronda Rousey returned to win the Women's Royal Rumble match.
I'll let you
And
finish that match. I need to go back and do a match, but I'll let you finish that one first.
I'm not talking about that match just yet, but Ronda Rousey returned to win the Women's Royal Rumble match to go on to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Now this left the Raw Women's Championship without a challenger at WrestleMania.
Yes.
So they set up a Women's Elimination Chamber match in which the winner will get a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania against, spoiler alert, Becky Lynch. So, the participants in this match, we had 5 in total before Raw, and they were Liv Morgan,
Rhea Ripley,
Bianca Belair,
Doudrop, otherwise known as Mike Niven,
and Nikki ASS. Now, the last spot was up in the air. But for the past few weeks, Little Miss Bliss has been in therapy.
yes, with a certain doctor. I know it don't mean Doctor Who.
We don't mean Dr. Shelby either.
No. Throughout a few weeks, Alexa Bliss has been in therapy as my colleague. Leading up to this past week on Monday Night Raw,
In which she was supposedly cleared and is now entered into the Elimination Chamber match. It was looking to be a return to the goddess gimmick.
But only time will tell.
Now, looking at this match, Rhea Ripley and Nikki H.S. ruled each other out because of their bubbling issue.
Yes.
Liv Morgan has had a couple of shots. Doudrop's match at the Rumble was probably just to give Becky an opponent. The person that has the storyline with Becky Lynch is Bianca Belair that dates all the way back to SummerSlam. And there's a little bit of unfinished business there.
Yes.
So that's the match. That's the winner that makes sense going into WrestleMania. But again, this is WWE. Now, speaking of Ronda Rousey,
Yes.
now, she will team up with Naomi to take on the team of Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville.
Yes.
Of course, Ronda and Charlotte have had issues going back pretty much towards Survivor Series 2018, when the crowd first turned on Ronda. And of course, Naomi and Sonya have been at it pretty much since Sonya came back as an authority figure.
For some reason has an issue with Naomi. We've no exact reason as to why.
However, what made this even more interesting was when Ronda chose Charlotte to face at WrestleMania. Sonya decided to jump on Ronda Rousey's back.
Big mistake there, Sonya.
Yes. Did you not see what happened to Stephanie McMahon first time round?
Clearly not, because she also got her arm broken.
Anyway, what do you really do in this match? Because you don't really want to have Ronda or Charlotte lose, at least to each other, before they face each other. So whether Ronda has the decision over Sonya or some weird combination of that, or even maybe they have Naomi pin Charlotte.
But who knows? This is WWE we're talking about here.
The final match is the match between Rey Mysterio and The Miz.
Yeah. Most of the match that they're doing now, but not at WrestleMania.
Possibly because maybe at WrestleMania they want to do Dominic versus The Miz. But
Maybe.
I'm glad to see that this, however, is not Edge and The Miz round 3.
It's
So we will go through the 8 matches once again.
starting off with Bobby Lashley will defend his WWE Championship inside Elimination Chamber against Brock Lesnar, Seth freaking Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles.
Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's Championship against WWE Hall of Famer Lita.
The Usos of the Bloodline will defend their SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Viking Raiders of Eric and Ivar.
In the WrestleMania match that never happened, Roman Reigns will defend the Universal Championship against Goldberg.
Drew McIntyre will take on Madcap Moss in a 40 Anywhere match.
In an Elimination Chamber match for a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania, Liv Morgan takes on Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Nikki H.S. and Alexa Bliss.
Ronda Rousey will team up with Naomi to take on the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville.
And the cover star of WWE 2K22, plug, Rey Mysterio will take on The Miz.
That about does it for our Elimination Chamber pre-show. Now, the Elimination Chamber start time will be on at a very nice time for those UK people using the WWE Network in the UK.
Yes, the Elimination Chamber will start at 5 p.m. UK time on Saturday, which the US crowd is early morning.
Yes, well, for here, that's mid-afternoon.
So that does it for this show. The road to WrestleMania should become a little bit more clear following the Elimination Chamber. Join us next week when we will bring you the results, along with a updated, hopefully, WrestleMania card.
So until then, he's been
Mr. Rock Jones, and he's been
Sean Matthew Smith, and we will see you next week for our post show to Elimination Chamber.